What's up, everybody? Matt Moda here to give you some bangers for Thursday Night Football. We got a decent game, Patriots versus Jets. Nice AFC East divisional matchup we have on Thursday. I'm going to have 4 actual bets for you guys to lock in, but we're only backing 2 players. So both guys we're taking multiple bets on. It's kind of how the plays worked out for Thursday Night Football, but 4 bets for you guys to lock in, 2.5 units risked. I got to admit, week 2 was one of the worst weeks that we'll have betting these NFL player props. My guess is we were down about 5 units in week 2 specifically. It was brutal and just some really bad beats. There really is no other way to describe it. Just some awful beats. Now, it was some bad reads as well. I'm not going to say it was 100% bad luck, but it was also some really bad luck. Things would have looked a lot better if Bijan Robinson had gotten his 5th reception on Monday night. He had 1 called back due to a penalty. He had another drop hit him right in the hands, and he didn't get a reception the last quarter and a half of the game. Just brutal. Goes down in the record books as an L, so we will track it as such. The good news is, if you look at the entire season, week 1 was so good that we're still green on the year, albeit slightly. I'm not going to pretend that we are very much in the green, but we're still in the green, and that is the most important thing. We're green on player props, and we're green on the other categories as well. Early NFL bets, underdogs. We're green across the board, which we'll take. Not a ton of green, but again, we'll take any profit. If you are new to my channel, I would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button for this specific video, like and comment. Let me know your bangers for this game. There's some really smart people in the comments that send plays that I think are really good, so put those in the comments. I love reading through it. And then the last thing that I will mention before we get into the bangers for Thursday Night Football is that I do have a dub club where I send all my plays out. It's only $5 a month, gets everything I'm playing across all sports sent directly to your phone via text, email, or Telegram. So if you're interested, you get plays sent to you early. If you don't feel like watching the videos or you just want to lock in the plays before the odds change, the dub club is the way to go. If you'd rather get everything for free on YouTube and on Twitter, totally cool with me. I'm on Twitter at Jedi Modai. Obviously, you're currently watching this YouTube video. Now let's get into the bangers. So again, Thursday Night Football, Patriots versus Jets. If you're interested in my thoughts on who's going to win this game, check out my underdogs video, which is a hint because one team's favored in this game and one team's not, and I'll leave it at that. But in terms of the player props, so the first 2 plays that we're going to go ahead and lock in, we're taking Breece Hall over 4.5 receptions. That's at plus 100 odds at FanDuel. I would put 1 full unit on that bad boy. I'm also going to ladder him up to 50 plus receiving yards, which is plus 300 odds at Caesars, and I'm putting a half unit on that bad boy. As you can tell, I love Breece Hall and his receiving props in this game. I love them for a bunch of reasons, which we are going to get into. Now, the receptions prop is a number that Breece Hall has hit in both games so far this season. He had 5 receptions in week 1, 7 receptions in week 2. The yards he missed in week 1, but he did cash it in week 2. So 2 out of 2 on the receptions, 1 out of 2 on the yards. And if we go back to last season, the 5+ receptions number is something that Breece Hall has done in 8 of his last 10 games. And not only does he just get a ton of check down targets, he's a phenomenal receiver. Like, he's not just getting these Bobo targets that he's catching that are really easy. I mean, look at that touchdown reception he saw, or we saw the touchdown reception that he had against the Titans last week. Phenomenal downfield catch for Breece Hall. So he has the talent to not only catch checkdowns, he also gets a ton of checkdowns from Aaron Rodgers. And that's something that we should foresee continuing week over week. Now, obviously, a lot of this stuff depends on the matchup and who the Jets are playing. But if you just look at his raw stats through 2 weeks, he's 3rd on the Jets in total receiving yards. He's behind Garrett Wilson and Allen Lazard. He'll probably end the season 2nd. I don't think Lazard is going to end the year ahead of him. He's received the 2nd most targets, so he's out-targeted Allen Lazard. He has the 2nd highest target percentage on the team, again, only behind Garrett Wilson, but he actually leads the team in receptions. Now, running back targets are going to be higher completion percentage expected, so that's why he leads the team in receptions, but is 2nd in targets. Either way, he's getting targeted a ton, and they're high value just in terms of receptions, the types of targets that he's getting because they're so close to the line of scrimmage. Again, 5 receptions in week 1, 7 in week 2. And literally any stat you look at, it's going to be favorable for Breece Hall and his receiving props. I mentioned he's basically the 2nd read in the Jets offense. And he's also really good in running back specific receiving stats as well. So it's not just the Jets. If you just look at all running backs, things look good. He's third on the Jets in first target reads. So basically, like when the play is designed to him, the first read for Aaron Rodgers, he's got the third most targets on that. And he's actually first in designed targets, meaning the play is actually designed to him. I know it's kind of confusing because you would think first read and designed are the same thing. They're two different numbers. Either way, third on the Jets in first read targets, first on the Jets in designed targets. And then you want to compare him to other running backs. Like, is it just a Jets thing, or how does he look compared across the league to all running backs? He's tied with Devon Achane with the most targets as a running back. He actually has the highest target share of any running back, and that just means that while he's tied with Achane with the most targets, the Dolphins have passed more. So Breece Hall has a higher target share than Devon Achane. Again, leads the entire NFL in terms of running back target share. He's also tied with Achane in first read targets, and he's second behind. He's tied with a bunch of running backs for the second most designed targets, plays that are actually designed for Breece Hall, second in the NFL, tied for first in first read targets. Again, I know I just gave you a lot of numbers. I just wanted to demonstrate that, like, no matter how you slice it, all of the receiving props look really good for Breece Hall, which is why I wanted the action on both the receptions and the yards. And even though I'm like a fade recent results type of guy, I just don't think that the books have quite caught up to Breece Hall and his receiving props. So I think that we are still getting some value here. I also think that the Jets are going to struggle to get anything going on the ground game. The Patriots currently have the 7th lowest adjusted yards per contact in the entire NFL. Now, adjusted yards per contact, it's a stat from Fantasy Points. Takes out QB scrambles, takes out kneel downs, takes out trick plays. It's just like normal running plays. How far does the running back get before they're contacted? And again, Patriots have the 7th lowest, meaning they're the 7th best defense in terms of yards before contact. That's the Patriots defense. Now, the Jets side of things, they have the 2nd lowest rushing grade in the NFL, according to Fantasy Points, just like how they grade their rushing game, with the 4th lowest yards per contact as well. So again, no matter how you slice it, not a good rushing offense. You want to look at DVOA, 23rd ranked rushing offense in the NFL. So everything you look at screams this should be a big game for Breece Hall receiving props after an incredibly lucky week 1, unlucky week 2. Let's hope things balance out for week 3. That's plays 1 and 2. Plays number 3 and 4, we're sticking with another running back. This time we're going with Ramondre Stevenson. We're putting a half unit on him to record a touchdown at plus 135 odds at DraftKings. And we are putting a half unit on him to get to 75 plus rushing yards at plus 140 odds at Bet365. So we're taking him to score, and we're taking him to run for 75 or more yards. Stevenson's been awesome this year. Now, you never know when a running back is going to get hurt. That's always a concern. But he's been really, really good to start the season. He's 5th in the NFL just in raw rushing yards. He's got 201 through 2 games, so he's averaged 100 per game. That seems pretty good. He scored a touchdown in each of the Patriots games as well, and kind of similar to Breece Hall, all of his advanced stats look really, really good. He's tied with the league lead in missed tackles forced. He's tied with Jordan Mason. They each have 13 missed tackles, forced missed tackles, and again, that leads the entire NFL. And he's also getting the most work of the Patriots running backs. Like, it's not really a timeshare between him and Antonio Gibson. Now, Gibson had a good game in week 2, but the majority of the snaps, the majority of the carries, they're all going to Ramondre Stevenson. He's getting 77% of the snaps, which is the 6th most of all running backs in the NFL, and he's getting 61.3% of the team's rush attempts. That ties him with Saquon Barkley with the 9th most, so it looks pretty good there. And other advanced stats show him looking pretty good as well. Like, he's 2nd in the entire NFL of all running back expected fantasy points. That's because his work in the red zone, also because his work in the receiving game. Now, I'm taking rushing yards and I'm taking anytime touchdowns, so the receiving game doesn't really help us for my specific bets. It just goes to show you how good he's been, and if he continues to be good, he should continue to be on the field. And I'm guessing the Patriots are going to continue to want to ride Ramondre Stevenson in this game as well. They're a very, very rush-heavy, rush-friendly team. They have the highest rush rate in the entire NFL in a neutral game script. Neutral game script meaning when the game is within a touchdown, the Patriots run the ball 60.3% of the time. Highest neutral rush rate in the entire NFL. They have the 3rd highest running percentage on 3rd down specifically at 70.4%, which is crazy. I mean, a lot of that has to do with like how close are their third downs. Obviously, if it's a 3rd and 9, they're probably not going to run. But because they're such a run-heavy team, early in the down, they probably, and they're good at it, they probably have a lot of short third downs, and they run the ball 70.4% of the time on 3rd down, which is crazy. And, you would not expect this to be a good matchup for the Patriots running game, which is why I think we're getting a little bit of value on both him to score and for him to get the 75 plus rushing yards. He's done that in each of the first 2 games of the year. The Jets have quietly gotten smoked on the ground. Not terrible, definitely not as good as we were expecting them to be heading into the year. They've allowed the 9th most rushing yards on the entire season. They got annihilated by Jordan Mason in week 1. They gave up another 130 rushing yards in week 2. And according to DVOA, the Jets have the 7th worst rushing defense in the NFL. And according to PFF, they have the 5th worst rushing defense in the NFL. So I'm expecting the Patriots to at least keep this game close. So as long as it stays within a touchdown, the Patriots are going to run the ball 60% of the time. They're going to run the ball in the red zone. They're going to run the ball on 3rd down. Tons of work for Ramondre Stevenson. So let's hope that he scores. Let's hope that he gets 75 plus rushing yards. It's all 4 of these player props hit. We'll make back most of the dent of our losses from week 2. So it feels like a 4-0 day. Let's hope that happens. And that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the Dub Club if you are interested. And have a good one.